Okay, war robots. So what I thought I would do is I would do a little recap of what new players go through when they first start playing war robots. I did this last year, so this year I'm calling it State of the Game, just to kind of give people an idea what's it like for new players to come up through the various levels. My boys, they had a few questions about, why is it getting so hard to find games and why does it take so long to start matches? So I think this, if we see what the new user goes through, the experience they go through, you kind of get an idea of what's happening. Here you see the controls, they really haven't changed all that much. Um, there's a few additional options here. I think the most significant one is the one that allows you to resize the controls, which I'll show here in a second. But these are the basic controls for customizing. I always turn on the lock on target. Doesn't really help all that much because the targeting system isn't all that good. And this one is the most significant change here, where you can resize your controls. It was a big problem for years and years, inadvertently touching the buttons when you didn't want to. So Pixonic a couple years ago, they were able to get this in so that you can customize your interface, your GUI. And here you have the music. It's on by default. I usually turn that off, but some people like it. My boys like it, so they leave the music on. So let's get into a battle. First time you get into the game, this has not changed since way back when. You have to do 3 checks with your controls just so that you know what does what, how you change directions and fire, that sort of thing. So there's been a couple changes here. One, you see that I think that's a bolt robot. They changed that. Before, when you get into the game at level 1, you only saw the Shutzies, which are still there, the destroyers, and then also the Cossacks. So this is new this year. They've added a few different robots, but these robots are AI control, so that hasn't changed from last year. That is one thing that's changed though since the beginning of the game. When the game first started, there were enough new players coming in at the lower levels that you actually went up against live players, and the matches didn't start until you had enough players for each team. That changed several years ago. It's still the same this year as it was last. Just some different robots. See the bolt. I see one of the robots that I think they're called the quick draw robots. Forget what the name of that one is. The light quick draw robot. So if you're a new player coming eh, into a game on this app, obviously you'd be impressed by the graphics, the controls, the detail, the remastering of the graphics. They were good to begin with when the original developers developed the game, and then Pixonic, they remastered it and they put more details in it. I think some of it's a bit overkill, makes the game a bit heavy as far as the size of the game. So there are the game stats. And you can see they changed it here because before all of the pilots had pilot in front of the name of the pilot. And you can't click to see the other AI bots game stats. So that's interesting. You can see my stats. But you can't see any of the other stats. So just kind of interesting, small little changes they've made. And right away you get hit with the offers. And that went really fast, all the way to already to level 2. In the past, you would have to win a couple games at each level before you progressed, and if you didn't score a lot of points, you could be at the same level for considerably longer. Well, apparently there's been a change to the algorithm that decides how quickly they move you back up. So doing a little housekeeping here with the robot just to upgrade, level up the weapons. The skin's the same skin that's been there for years and years. Pixonic doesn't seem to be too interested in doing anything with these older robots or older weapons. Of course, you can understand why the motivation is for them to make as much revenue as possible. And that's through the higher level bots. So they figure people, these lower levels, they're not going to invest in the robots, which maybe not. New player might be anxious to get this new skin for a low level bot. Also the map, it's the same map. First 5 or 6 levels, it's only this map. And then once you progress up to maybe level 6, I think it starts to rotate you to some of the other maps. So taking this robot down with the Punisher. Level 1, you see it's really not effective at all. And if this wasn't an AI bot, it would definitely be using that shield to protect itself. But as it's an AI bot, it doesn't. So look, all's good at this level. New players into the game, they'd be pretty impressed with the graphics. The quality is there. I think the servers can keep up with the relatively simple calculations to ascertain the damage that you're dealing. Since you don't have shields and all the other things that come later on. So we'll finish this one last bot on the enemy team, and that'll be the end of round number 2. Be interesting to see how far I get. I'm gonna have to run all the way across the map here, it looks like. It's one of the quick draw robots. So it seems like that's the only new robots at these level now. The quick draw robots and Bolt. Here are the stats. Again, can't click on any of the enemies to see what their damage, to see what the details were beyond the basic damage. And yeah, see, I'm already up to level 3. So it goes very fast now. They've definitely changed the amount of time that it takes to go up through the lower level leagues. I think if I were to guess, I'd say that's because there's not as many new players coming into the game, and at the other upper tiers, there's not as many players still playing, so they're trying to move those players up as quickly as possible. Yeah, so all in all, new player, decent experience, get a few daily rewards here. And as they continue to move up, they'll continue to get additional prizes and rewards for doing certain tasks.